I think it's a great opportunity for Max. He's been working for it. He's been prepping, and I know the guys are excited to see him do what he does and kind of see what he can do for our offense.
How different is? You looked a little overwhelmed at times. I mean, getting thrown in there in the late first quarter was not versus having 2 weeks to prepare.
Oh, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. I mean, for somebody that has played but doesn't have those same type of experience as Maddox, when you get thrown in the fire in a big game like that on the blue, there's going to be a learning curve there, especially for a local guy that's playing the quarterback position. So I think these last 2 weeks he's really been able to just hone in on just his craft, his coaching, the game plan, the details, and that's going to help anybody, but especially at the quarterback position. That preparation is going to allow the game to slow down.
Nate, what does Max Cutforth do better than Maddox Madsen at quarterback? Arm? Does he see the field better? Maybe what? I mean, I'm sure there are certain attributes that Max is better than Madsen.
Well, that's a great question. I think we will see, because I think it really comes down to playing in games and how you play in real time when it's live bullets and things are happening fast. I think he's got a lot of great qualities. I do think he's got the arm strength you're looking for. There's a lot of things, but really it's going out and doing it now. It's tough to say in practice, but now in real life, in a game, what's that going to be like?
To go from walk-on to QB1, Spencer was just saying it's a small step-by-step process. What do you do to kind of take advantage of every opportunity he had along the way?
Yeah, I think it's being resilient. It's being consistent. I think you start off and you're on the scout team, and you're going through just the process of what it looks like to get into college football, and then kind of taking your lumps and going through those peaks and valleys and staying consistent, staying prepared. I think was a big thing for Max. He's always been able to know what's going on, and when his time was called, whether it's practice or camp, whatever it is, he was ready to go. So I think that's a huge part of it, because you know what you're going to get from him.
Like when Maddox is a starting QB, he's got a lot of input. And I think Spencer was saying one time he memorizes the whole play card or something like that. So when it comes to Max, what's the benefits of having almost 2 weeks to go through that with him and have him be the voice and see what he's comfortable doing, or things like that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a big part of it. I think for us as coaches, in general, for our offense, we got to continue to figure out what each guy does best and what they feel comfortable with, and play to their strengths. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts within our offense, but it's figuring out what does Max do best, what does X, Y, and Z do best, and play to their strengths. But the quarterbacks in this program do such a good job competing not only in the field but in the meeting room. Like, those guys are prepping, those guys are memorizing, those guys are challenging each other. So I think Max is going to be mentally prepared.
I think Spencer was saying Dylan Riley only getting 6 touches can't happen, and that he expects more work out of him moving forward. I mean, what do you see there, and trying to get Dylan more involved, because obviously the stats show when he gets more touches, you guys are undefeated.
Yeah, no, you said it. It's common sense, and if he doesn't get enough touches, it's my fault, and he has to, because he's one of our most explosive players. So at the end of the day, that's on me to get done, and we will get that done moving forward.
How do you kind of juggle I know all 3 at times have been the guy in a game and done well, and you guys want to play with the hot hand, but how do you kind of juggle that moving forward, I guess, with wanting to get the best guy to more carries?
Yeah, I think it's just communication with Coach Montgomery and myself and the running backs, and being more detailed, more deliberate with it, so we don't run into that issue.
What'd you make out of the San Diego State-Hawaii game, watching the tape on that? San Diego State's defense, I mean, they didn't show that type of performance in a long time, and Hawaii was able to kind of do what they wanted. What stood out to you, Nate?
I think it's a quality opponent. Hawaii's doing a phenomenal job, and then when you're playing at their place, that's a challenge in a lot of ways. And they have a high-powered offense, and so I think just in general in this conference, you got to bring your best each week. And not to say that they didn't, but that's just one of those games I'm sure they're going to learn from and be ready for us. But we've been on the other side of that. We've been there, and I get it. But it has nothing to do with the talent of that defense. It's phenomenal defense. That's why they're ranked so highly in every category and the personnel. So I think they'll be just fine.
In terms of the running game in general, I mean, how much would that help Max if you guys can get a running game going and not be in so many 3rd and longs and stuff?
That's a huge part of what we gotta be, what we need to be, who we are. We have to be able to run the ball efficiently, and for a quarterback especially, doesn't matter if it's Max or anybody else, I mean, that alleviates a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. So that's a constant focus for us and something that we've been working to get better at.
When it comes to Max, I know obviously the loss wasn't solely on him, but there were still negative plays. How much have you seen him improve, and how much can a guy realistically, improve on some of those negatives in a week and a half?
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, you're learning from those reps. You're learning from that experience. I think a big part of it, again, is it's my responsibility to put him in position to be successful, which I didn't do last game. So it's not Max's fault, it's my fault. But there's a lot of things that you can grow on each day at any position. I think he's been doing that. He's been focused. So again, it's my responsibility to put him in position to be successful and not hurt us.
Talk about like kind of the importance of complementary football. Like, even if you guys don't turn it over, you win a field position battle against Fresno State. Feels like that game could look very, very differently. You're going to go on the road face another top defense. So I know you'd like to probably drop back and throw an 80-yard touchdown every single play, obviously, but just even like the value in making sure that you can win those things too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of different ways to win a football game, and as an offense, we have to not turn the ball over. We got to play to our strengths. We can't turn the ball over. We got a phenomenal defense, great special teams. So we got to play our game. We got to play smart football and not hurt the team. I think that's always the goal, week in and week out. But that's something that when we have lost, that's something that showed up as a primary concern, is just us turning the ball over. So eliminating that helps play complementary football.
Spencer said that Chris is back, Marshall
Yeah.
is back.
Yeah.
What does he mean to your offense now that you have to go through a game without him?
Well, Chris just provides another explosive player to our offense. He's shown that throughout the year. He has ability to make a lot of plays with the football in his hands. So just having that type of dynamic weapon is always huge. But it's something that we miss, but we're happy to have back.
Have you noticed maybe like a new Chris Marshall in any ways that maybe he was struggling in, he no longer is, and that type? I mean,
Well, I've seen progress with Chris throughout the whole season, and just his work ethic, his mentality. The bye week is one thing, but going into game week this week, I think we're going to continue to see that progress from him.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nate.